I am live and I see three people in the room. Welcome. My name is Naina Kaputi and I am excited to host this live on personal brand and building your visibility. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me because I'm never sure if these YouTube lives work or not. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Yeah. Hi, Colette. Colette, can you hear me? Awesome, wonderful. So those of you reading my emails and posts know that I normally get really nervous with lives because I'm just putting myself out there on YouTube for folks to see me. And of course, I teach people about building their personal brand and visibility. And I believe YouTube lives are a great way to do so, to put yourself out there for people to learn more about you, etc. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start by reviewing a few products that I used to build my current personal brand, and then I'm going to have people, especially if they're members in the room. I might look at your LinkedIn content or profiles, also answer questions. If people have any questions on LinkedIn, YouTube, hosting events, building your personal brand, your visibility, you can put them in the chat. I also want to make this an interactive session. So, beside you asking me questions, if you have a bold move you want to make this year, if there's something you want to achieve this year, you can put that in the chat. Introduce yourself in the chat. You can, just who you are, where you live, what you do, and share a link to your LinkedIn profile. And since it's a YouTube live, I'm also inviting people to share links to their website because I want people to leave this event not just learning from me, but also making connections and promoting their services or what they do, etc. So let me know in the chat where you're calling in from. Like, where are you based? I know Colette is in Germany. If you want to let me know where you are. If I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm originally from India and I've lived here for the last 22 years. And I have been building my personal brand and visibility, I would say, really during the pandemic, intentionally. Before that, I was focused on building the Expat Woman brand, which is my organization, my business, and I was behind the scenes. I didn't think it was necessary for me to show up on camera in my posts, etc. So it's only after the pandemic forced us all to go into lockdown, and that's when I started really initially just putting myself out there, and then I became more intentional over a period of time. So Colette is a doctor and menopause specialist from the UK living in Germany. Colette is also a member of the Expat Woman membership. And last week, if you attended our virtual networking event, Colette was one of the breakout room hosts, and she facilitated a room on dealing with menopause abroad, whether you're on pre-menopause, menopause, or post-menopause. And Colette, you're doing a great job of showcasing your expertise and what you want to be known for as a menopause specialist. Your LinkedIn is yeah, and that's, it's good to acknowledge that. I joined LinkedIn in 2007. LinkedIn was launched in 2002 in San Francisco, but it was I joined in 2007. Initially, I just used it to connect with people. Then I used it to post my resume. It's only, again, I would say, during the pandemic is when LinkedIn actually became a platform for us to create content and truly build our personal brands and visibility. So that's when I really leaned into LinkedIn. I've used LinkedIn since 2007 to build my network, to make connections. I had no connections when I moved to the US, my professional connections, except for a few of my classmates who had moved here from other countries. I had a very small network. And in the US, at least, I don't know what it's like in other countries. It's like, who do you know? That really helps you with getting a job, getting referrals, recommendations, etc. So I yeah, so LinkedIn really helped me build my professional network, and now I've been building it very intentionally with women like me who live abroad, who are purpose driven, who want to create impact, influence, elevate their income, looking to break glass ceilings, stand out, get seen, get known for their expertise, and also then get the opportunities they want, the success they desire. And I have coined the term make bold moves abroad, because moving abroad requires you to be bold, but I really feel the work begins after you move, because most of the time people don't know who you are, what you do. You've left your network, you've left the people who knew about your background, your professional background, or even your personal background, and you come to a new country and you have no identity. And you've got to start building a personal brand from scratch, stepping out of your comfort zone. And that requires bold moves, because you've got to be bold to step out of that comfort zone, to showcase your expertise, to put yourself out there. Colette said, I have not needed to use it before and wasn't really aware of how to use LinkedIn. I've been learning from you, Naina. Thank you, Colette. And I've seen you creating more content on LinkedIn. I've seen you commenting on posts, resharing posts, and that's how you start. Uh, Anything we do in life is a marathon, not a sprint. Very few people achieve success with anything they do overnight. In fact, I just uploaded a video talking about how not to quit or give up when you're abroad, how things never go as planned. And this is not just for expats, for anyone, but how to stay the course and learn and get better. Colette says, I feel like I'm not in the medical crowd in Germany. Yeah, I know what you mean, because you've got to kind of break into that crowd, right, Colette? Like for me with LinkedIn, when I started showcasing myself, promoting myself as an expert on LinkedIn, there are people on LinkedIn who consider themselves the LinkedIn gurus. And I always felt like I was not part of their club. I still don't feel like I'm part of their club. It's a very tight group of people. It's very hard to break through. And that's when imposter syndrome rears its ugly head and, makes you feel like you're not good enough. Who are you to say you're a LinkedIn expert? Here are all these LinkedIn experts. They've got this clique. You're not part of it. They speak on each other's podcasts. They invite each other to speak at their events. They tag each other. They comment on each other's posts. It doesn't matter. You create your own group and show up. So, Carolyn Gregory says, Colette, you are right. It feels easier to do when it's in a collaboration. Yes. And that's why collaborations are so important, like finding people to connect with and who have similar beliefs, who have similar goals, who have similar target audiences. Yeah, Carolyn says, I think the LinkedIn pods, which can make some posts look very popular. Absolutely, Carolyn. There are LinkedIn pods out there. The good news is that LinkedIn is clamping down on those pods, I think, because if you see some people's posts, oh my goodness, they have like thousands of comments, thousands of reactions. And when you read those comments, many of them seem very fake. They don't seem genuine or authentic. The people commenting are not even that person's target audience or in that area of expertise, and that can sometimes make you feel like, wow, look at all these people. They are getting so much engagement on LinkedIn, and I share a post and I barely get anything. And I too feel that sometimes, because I have close to 21,000 connections and followers on LinkedIn, and my reactions and engagement is not as, it doesn't reflect the amount of people that follow and connect with me. So, Carolyn Gregory says she's not enough fun. Yeah, thanks for sharing, and Carolyn, yeah, it's people in pods are going to get affected, because I'm glad LinkedIn's finally paying attention to pods, because it's just not fair. So yes, Colette, that being in a pod is frowned upon, because it's what it is you pay a certain amount of money to be in this group, and then every time someone posts, you have to comment on everyone's post in a pod, and they have to comment on your post. And I think the comments are created by AI, so you don't even have, say I'm in a pod and I do a post about building your personal brand. So I guess I would share that link in the pod, and then maybe AI will generate comments, so people will each get their own unique comment and comment on your post. What happens with that is very often those people are not even your target audience. They're people in a totally different field. For instance, if I was in a pod and then I got maybe gentlemen in India commenting on my post who are not my target audience, that would not really work for me, because those people will never want to join my membership or hire me to be they're not expats. So it's very important not to get discouraged by pods. So if yeah, and Karen, go self and introduce yourself in the chat. If you're joining me now, do introduce yourself in the chat. And while you're doing that, if you haven't subscribed to the Expat Woman YouTube channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button and do hit the like. You see the like button here, do hit it, because then the LinkedIn, I'm not LinkedIn, the YouTube algorithm, I think, will show it to more people. And of course, this replay is available later as well. So Carolyn is an intercultural trainer coach, have lived in the USA and Australia, now in the UK. And you also, Colette, and you, did you guys meet each other at my virtual networking event last week, Colette and Carolyn, or was it another event? I'm curious to know where you both meet. Yeah, so you both connected at my. That's wonderful, and now both of you are showing up here on my YouTube live. And thank you both for showing up. As I shared earlier, it's something that I'm always a little nervous about, but having you both so active in the chat has really helped me ease into this YouTube live. So before I go any further, I shared that I would review a few things that I've been using to build my personal brand and visibility as an expat. I mean, I've been in the US so long, I'm no longer an expat, but I still consider myself an expat, because I don't think I'll ever feel totally like I'm a US citizen. And maybe other folks can share that in the chat. I feel like I'm straddling towards India and the US, and I feel I don't really belong in either. And I know sometimes it requires a lot of inner work, where belonging is within you, and you have to make that effort to find that belonging, and then it doesn't matter where you live in the world. Yeah. Okay, so let me start by sharing. So what I've been doing to build this year, what I've been doing to build my personal brand and visibility is YouTube, because I kind of mastered LinkedIn, not mastered, but I think I've got to a level where I was ready to start a second social media show up on a second social media platform, and that's what I want to just uh, share with everyone watching this. Don't spread yourself thin. Don't go onto a bunch of social media platforms. Choose one. I would really encourage folks to start with either LinkedIn or YouTube. I have used Facebook, I have used Instagram, I have used TikTok, I have used Twitter, which is now X. And I, as someone who's moved to another country, have found that LinkedIn has been very powerful of all the platforms for me to build a really amazing network of other like-minded women living abroad like me, and has also helped me promote my business, get new clients, promote my offers, etc. Show, build my personal brand and my visibility. I was hosting in-person events in San Francisco before the pandemic, and LinkedIn played such a huge role in helping build it to a multiple six-figure business, because I was able to connect with very high-powered women on LinkedIn. Many of them were expats to be speakers at my events, companies to sponsor and host my events. And then folks started using LinkedIn to connect with me. After a while, I was getting inbound requests from people to host events at their spaces that they sponsored, etc. So, with that being said, LinkedIn is my first main platform, and then YouTube has become my second platform. After Google, YouTube is the second largest search platform. Or if you can let me know in the chat, when you Google something, usually YouTube videos show up on the first page on Google. Also, what I have learned by going solo, both in live streams and shooting videos on for YouTube, is it is helping me build my confidence. It's helping me get more articulate with public speaking, because when you start shooting videos and recording yourself, you realize how many times you say like. I'm trying to cut that down. It's giving me more clarity on what I should say, and it's scary. For the longest time, for the last 2 years, I was doing video interviews with other expat women. Now I'm doing them solo, because I realized, as much as I love doing interviews, it was time for me to show up and build my personal brand and showcase my expertise and build my visibility. And I will occasionally interview other women. This is the hardest thing. For many of us, it's easier to promote other people. It's the hardest to promote ourselves, especially I think when we come from countries where self promotion is frowned upon. In the US, it's encouraged, and I kind of like it. I mean, and no one pushes you to promote yourself, but here you can do it in a subtle fashion without being in people's faces. So, not everything should be about promoting yourself, but YouTube has given me that opportunity to show up, build my confidence, get clarity, get better at public speaking, and also learn how to shoot video. So, the three trusty tools that I've been using to shoot YouTube videos, and maybe you can let me know in the chat, is that something you're looking at doing down the road, uh, because I want to encourage you to keep it really simple when you're on YouTube. When you shoot videos, whether for YouTube or even LinkedIn, or if you're using Instagram, keep it as simple as possible. So my first tool that I use is my phone. I don't shoot with a camera. I shoot with this. I got an iPhone 16 because it has the three cameras, and the quality is really good. In fact, they say the quality is almost as good as a regular camera. Maybe at some point I'll move to a better camera, but right now I'm shooting everything on my phone. It's so simple. I don't have to overthink it. I shoot it with I shoot it, like, the only thing is I don't shoot with a selfie, so I'm not looking at it. I use my back camera, so these cameras. So when I'm shooting, I can't see what myself, so that's a little bit of a disadvantage, but I'm getting better at it. I got the case, like this magnetic case. So all I need to do when I'm shooting my videos is I use this tripod stick, and then I do this. So in the past it was really like not complicated, but it just took me more time because I didn't have this magnetic selfie stick. So you have those, I don't think I have it, those old little selfie sticks where you have a clamp, and then you have to clamp the phone, and half the time the phone falls off the clamp. This is, I just put it on the magnetic stick, and then I'm doing walk and talk videos to record myself, because I find I'm more comfortable when I'm outdoors shooting videos where I'm sharing my thoughts, my tips, my insights, my experiences. So yeah, the iPhone 16, but if you don't have an iPhone 16, you can even use a simpler camera or phone to shoot videos. But I would say get the magnetic case and get this, and I'll share links to all these in the description. So yeah, Colette, definitely. The clamp was a pain, and that was so. It was such a pain that I started just using my hand to shoot. Use my phone to shoot video, and it's very shaky. So the selfie stick is great. And one more thing about the selfie stick is, and I might not be able. It's a little, you can also turn it into a tripod. So let me see if I can pull it apart. But you can extend it. You can, maybe I'll do a video just about this later. But yeah, see, you can make it it can turn into a tripod like this. I can extend it. Let's see if I can extend it. Yeah. See, I can. So if I wanted to do a stationary video, and I have actually, when I was in Vietnam last month, and I shot a couple of the Airbnb was so nice. Usually I don't like shooting stationary videos because everything's usually a mess. So I used the tripod and I set it in front of me, and then I put my phone onto the tripod, and I want to share one more tip with shooting videos, because I can't see myself, because I'm not shooting my videos in selfie mode. I'm having the camera face me, so I can't see what's on the screen, right? I I use my Apple Watch, and I can actually so there's a camera on the Apple Watch, so you can actually see your video on the Apple Watch. If you turn to camera and you start recording, you can see your video on the Apple Watch. Yeah, and so I look at, I press record, and then I can see what I look like on that little thing. So the Apple Watch is another game changer for me. And then finally, this is what I use to record audio. Again, I wanted it really simple. The phone audio is pretty good, but I got this, and I basically, this is a little microphone. So I connect it to my phone. I just plug it in like this, and then this is my the recording thing, and then I can either hold it, or it has a magnetic thing at the bottom, and then I just put it on my shirt, and then I speak. Again, I try to use very, very simple tools, because just shooting video takes, is can be draining for me, because it's so new and I'm nervous, and sometimes I have a brain freeze. But that's why I found the simplest tools that I can use to shoot video. So that's whatever you're doing, even if it's creating content on LinkedIn or for a blog post or whatever, try and keep it as simple as possible. You don't want to get overwhelmed. I'll share links to all these products in the description. And you can, even if you're taking just photographs of yourself for LinkedIn, you don't need to always have a professional take your photographs. In fact, today, the more authentic and natural your photos, I think the more popular they are. People are tired of polished photos, and everyone's using AI. And I have to admit, even I use AI when I'm editing my YouTube videos from my phone, to just do like some touch up, so my wrinkles are not so visible. I don't like how my skin looks on these videos I shoot on YouTube. But I don't I you know so I do some touch up, but when it's photographs, you can also do touch up. But when I'm talking about it, it's not like a polished photograph in your office. You can take photographs anywhere, especially as expat women. We live, and Colette and Carolyn, I don't know who else will join me. You live in countries which just have, I mean, not that the US doesn't have beauty. We have a lot of natural beauty, but you have like, castles and streets that have like older homes, and it's just, I mean, Europe is so beautiful and fascinating. So, you could just be out in the street shooting a photograph. And what I'm saying is, you could use your selfie stick, put it on your phone, set a timer, and take photographs and add it with your content. Okay, so I'm going to ask folks in the chat if you have any questions regarding building your personal brand or visibility. And also, if you want me to look at any of your content, I can do 5-minute reviews of your LinkedIn profile or your content. So let me know, in the chat, if you have a question regarding LinkedIn, building a personal brand, visibility, hosting an event, starting a YouTube channel, or if you want me to look at your LinkedIn profile, your content, etc. Yeah, go ahead if anyone wants to. Or I can keep talking. So I'll give you a few minutes, because I know the chat has a bit of a lag. So Cameron says, I feel like a dinosaur with the way marketing works now. I know things are like changing so quickly, but I think in some ways, I think it's easier right now with marketing. Is there something specific that you've been struggling with, Carolyn? Like, what are you doing that makes you still feel like a dinosaur, which you feel it is kind of more old-fashioned? There's definitely a lot more competition right now. I don't feel comfortable talking about myself and the training coaching I offer. I totally agree, Carolyn. I have such a hard time with it too. And I think that's really more like a mindset thing. I think it's, and I'm working on this too. We have to think about the disservice we're doing to someone by not sharing our offers. Maybe there's someone who would really benefit, who sees the value, who can, who pays for your services, and then the the rewards or the results way far outweigh the money they've paid. Yeah. So I would say, and I'm working on it too, thinking like I have to change my mindset. I have to be more comfortable sharing my offers, reaching out to people. And the other thing I've realized is it's very rare that an offer will fall into your lap. You could do all the promotion you want on LinkedIn and YouTube, but you've got to also reach out to people. Someone's shown you an interest, you've got to send them DMs, and I know that that feels icky too. But I think taking it away from you and focusing on the client and how that person can potentially benefit from tapping into your services might help. So I think just changing that. Yeah. And Carolyn's blog is excellent. Are you on LinkedIn? Yeah, Carolyn and Colette, I hope you will connect on LinkedIn. Carolyn, I'm not sure we have connected on LinkedIn, so share your link in the chat. Okay, so let me know if either of you, I think folks are coming in and going, but I think right now I have both of you on YouTube, on this YouTube live. Let me know in the chat if either of you want me to look at any content or a post you've done with an offer, Carolyn, or you want me to look at your LinkedIn profile. Happy to give it a go. Or do you want me to continue talking about personal brand and visibility? Anything specific you want me to cover? Let me know in the chat. So I want to make this time worthwhile for both of you. Do you want me to focus more on LinkedIn, YouTube? And I'm asking a lot of questions. Should my LinkedIn post be directed to my ideal customers or to contemporaries and building my reputation? Colette, I would say your ideal customers, not your contemporaries, because you're on LinkedIn to grow your business, so that's who you want to talk to. Your contemporaries. My strategy for you, or suggestion would be with your contemporaries, your peers, what you call your competition, or other people in your area of expertise. Comment if they are active on LinkedIn. Start commenting on their post. If they share something like 5 tips to deal with menopause or premenopause, maybe you could your comment could be great. The tips you shared are really valuable, and I'd like to add this as well. So that's what you want to do with your contemporaries, like support them by commenting on their posts. You could also reshare. And I know we say, oh, this is competition, but remember, your competitors have your target audience, and when you start showing up on their posts and their comments, you're growing your network. It's a kind of collaboration in a way. I would say an indirect collaboration, because you're showing up on somebody else's post as an indirect collaborator by commenting on that post. Their post is going to be shown, the algorithm is going to show their post to more people, and then they also feel supported, and then they're going to also maybe comment on your post. Yeah. Yeah, Colette says, yeah, I always saw it as a networking pack. Yeah, good tip. So that's what I would do, Colette. Also, when you look at your contemporaries' posts, it's a kind of research, because you can see what they're posting, what posts are doing well, what are people saying in the comments, how what are the most popular posts. Are your because the people commenting might be other contemporaries, or they might be your potential target audience. What kind of questions are people asking, or what are their concerns, etc. And then the other strategy I would share is look at who's commenting on their post, because those could be your potential audience or network, people you can connect with. So look at the comments, who's commenting, go to their profiles, look and see, is this someone I want in my network? And then you could send them a connection request. If they left a very valuable comment or something that resonated with you, you can even say, I saw your comment and so's post. I checked out your profile. I loved what you had to say or what you do, and I'd like to add you to my network. Yeah. So then Carolyn says, one issue is that the posts which do well can be the ones which are frivolous and not the way I would want to post or comment on. I think I'm proving I'm a dinosaur. Actually, you're not, Carolyn. The frivolous posts, yes, they get a lot of engagement, but most of that engagement may not be the target audience. I'll give you an example, and this is not really a frivolous post, but it's a post that got a lot of engagement. My father-in-law passed away I think it was, yeah, August. Yes, August. And I did a post about him. It was a little bit frivolous because my husband's American, and my father-in-law, when my husband and I announced that we were getting married, because I had come from India, I'd come to the US to study film, he thought I was marrying his son for a green card, and he was like so against it. And I was with him when he was dying. I did kind of say, look, Dad, Gino and I have been married almost 23 years, and I'm still with him. I got my green card, my citizenship, but I said something about that in the post, and that he's a second generation immigrant from Italy, and but yet how we bonded over also we had similar faith, religion, etc. That got a ton of engagement. That got a lot of reactions, comments, people sending me DMs. If I look through the comments, I'd say maybe 40% were my target audience, 60% were people I've been connected with over years on LinkedIn, but they're not my target audience. They would not be interested in joining the expat women membership. They're not expats. Many of them are not women. They're not in countries that I target. So would it get me any clients because of that post? No. Also, the post wasn't, I mean, I tried to bring in the whole immigrant experience, the cultures, despite being from different cultures, how we still, got on. So, yeah, just to give you that. Yeah. It did not expand my network on LinkedIn. And I can, find that post. Let me see if I can share. And I want to show all of you, since you're talking about posts and how it can grow your network, etc. Are you all aware of this new feature on LinkedIn where when you look at your post, you can see the how many profile views, how many folks have followed you after the post? Let me know in the chat. Are you aware of this new feature? You can see how your posts are done. Okay, so let's hope I'm able. Yeah, so Karen and Colette said no. Let me see if I can share my screen and then let's look at some posts of mine and see how if they've helped me. Okay. Can you see my screen? Oh, Erica's here. Hey, Erica, thanks for joining us. So good to see you here. Uh, okay, so you can see my screen. You can see the LinkedIn screen. Just let me know if you can see my LinkedIn screen. I'm just switching between YouTube and LinkedIn. Okay, you can see my LinkedIn screen. Okay, so let's look at this one. This was my recent newsletter about, and I know Colette, you commented on that. So when you scroll down, it can be a LinkedIn newsletter, it can be a post, but when you scroll down, you see this called View Analytics. Okay, so it says I got 553 impressions. So that means LinkedIn showed my post to 553 people in the LinkedIn news feed. The feed when you go to the homepage, it reached 340 LinkedIn users. So that means it shows up, but 340 members saw the post. So you can see this. Impressions, the number of times your post was shown on LinkedIn. Now, the same post can show up for many people. So maybe out of the 553, maybe some people saw the same post a number of times. Okay, so it was shown. So this is the number of times it was shown in the newsfeed. The members reach is the number of distinct members and pages that saw your post. The numbers an estimate and does not include repeat displays. So this does not include repeats. That means 340 people and pages saw my post. It showed up in their feed and they saw it. Profile views from this post. So I haven't got any people checking on my profile. Followers gained from this post 0. So this post I did yesterday. Now this was a newsletter. So besides it showing up in people's news feeds, this is why I like newsletters, because LinkedIn also sends an email to people with the newsletter. So it sent it to 1,400 people, and 29% people opened it. And then it's telling you about the reactions, the comments, the reposts. You also want to get saves and sends on LinkedIn. This is new. It's really great when people save your post, and it's telling the algorithm that uh, people like your post. They're saving it because they want to see read it later. LinkedIn wants people to save posts so that they'll stay longer on the platform. Sends on LinkedIn, if someone liked your post, they could send it to someone in the DMs. And then this is the demographics. So senior, and this is my goal. My target audience is folks who have more experience, because they're the folks who can also afford to join my membership, who will hire me to be their LinkedIn coaches or YouTube coaches. If I have a course, they'll buy my course, they'll pay for my to attend my events. So then this is the size. So it's mostly, if you can see, 1 to 10 employees. So it's a lot of my target audience is our entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, etc. Because I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, 22%. So going back to the chat to see if you have any questions about that. You want me to show you a few more examples of posts? You can also, I don't think you can, I don't think if I look at your post, I'll be able to see your analytics, because it has to, only you can see your own analytics. Let me know if you have questions on what I just shared right now. If you or you want me to show you more posts, etc. And Erica, let me know if you have any questions. I know you are looking to build your expertise, and as a public, I know you're looking to become a public speaker besides, of course, your regular career. So yeah, let me know. So I'm keeping this open for a bit. If anyone has any questions or chat, you want me to look at your LinkedIn profile, you want me to look at a piece of your content, or you want me to show you something else, or talk a little bit more about LinkedIn. But I think this is a really cool feature on LinkedIn that is really helpful. Let me go to my profile again. So these are all my posts. Let me find that post about my father now. I mean, it might be. So this was a post I did last week about our event, the Global Virtual Networking event. Let's look at the analytics, okay? If I got any new connections. So it showed to 1,541. So the more engaged the post is, LinkedIn it'll show up in more people's news feeds. So you can see it's double the number of members reached compared to the post I did yesterday about my newsletter. You can also see this LinkedIn is pushing you to do more posts. Members who post once a week can get up to 4 times more profile views. Keep the momentum going by creating another post. So I got 10 profile views from this post. I got 1 follower. Profile views are really good, especially if you are trying to promote yourself to get hired, trying to promote an offer, a service, etc. Okay. It got 75 reactions, 46 comments, 9 people reposted it, 1 person saved it, 2 people clicked on the premium custom button interaction. So what is that? That in my case, it's the subscribe to the Expat Woman YouTube channel, and I show you it. But these numbers are an estimate. So the total number of times members and page admins clicked on a premium custom button in your post, including repeat clicks. So yeah, so when someone sees a post, and we look at that in a few minutes. So again, mostly senior San Francisco Bay Area was, again, it's showing me San Francisco Bay Area. 8.5% of founders, owners, co-founders. You can see who my target audience is. San Francisco was the highest, the Netherlands was second, then New York, then Denmark, then London, and then this was a post about the Global Virtual Networking event. I know we had a lot of coaches attending that event. So that is yeah. So that is your the analytics. Well, I was going to show you what my LinkedIn Premium button is. So it's right here. It's the Expat Woman YouTube channel. If you don't have premium, I believe LinkedIn has removed that link, where you could share. So I have LinkedIn Premium, but I'm going to encourage you not to get LinkedIn Premium until you have really mastered LinkedIn. Connected, and you're ready to move to the next level. It's expensive. It's very helpful for me, but if you're just starting off, I would say wait. Yeah. Okay. Any questions based on what I just shared about LinkedIn? Or anything else you want me to keep talking about personal brand visibility? Let me know. I see a few new people joining. I'm encouraging everyone to introduce themselves in the chat, share a link to their LinkedIn profile, and connect with each other. So go ahead and do that if you just join me. I'm happy to look at people's LinkedIn profiles to give them feedback or content if they want anything on a post that you've done, or yeah, let me know in the chat what if any of that would be helpful to you. So that's, yeah, so that, let me see if there's any other. Yeah, the sliding ban, I think you're aware of. Again, you need to have LinkedIn Premium to use the sliding banner. What else? Yeah, this is your analytics. So this, it's, you can see it's private to me, but I'm going to show it to you. So I have had, let's look at all the analytics here. So my analytics, it actually says it's gone down. So my posts have got 4,237 impressions. That means LinkedIn showed my post to 4,237 people in the last 7 days. So it showed up in their news feed. Um, I have 21,641 followers. So it's gone up in the past 7 days. It did increase after the virtual networking event. And let me know, Colette and Carolyn. And Karen, I'll look at your profile after that. Thanks for asking. So let me know, did you, after you joined the virtual networking event, did you see an increase in your followers, connections? Did you get new connection requests? I'd love to know. And then I have, my profile has had 1,812 views in the past 90 days, and I've appeared in 294 search appearances in the last week. So this is people looking for me specifically, like my name, Naina Kaputi. So they do a search on LinkedIn. I've had my newsletter subscribers. It's I think it's gone down. It's usually I get more subscribers, but fewer people are subscribing to my newsletter. My newsletter article views have gone up to 9.9%. So even though fewer people are subscribing, and this is my LinkedIn newsletter, the views have gone up. So this is your weekly sharing tracker. Increase your visibility by posting or commenting. So remember, if you don't feel like posting, you don't have any content to post in a week, find people who either are in your area of expertise, who have your target audience, or sometimes even someone you want to support, and comment on that post. Okay. So mine, I did 13 of the 3 actions. So yeah, so you can see I did members who post once a week. Yeah, again, it's telling the same thing. Members who comment once per week on average see about 3 times more profile views, and it's even telling me to comment on feed. So when you click on that, it's showing all the posts in my feed. Okay, let's look at Carolyn Gregory's profile. Okay. And Colette said that she connected with a lot of people. Yeah, after the event. Very cool. Okay, so this is Karen. So Carolyn, and I'm going to give you just like feedback, like it's constructive feedback. So don't take anything personally. I love this. I love that you have your banners. Very cool. Intercultural success, creating confidence to work with the world. That tells me right off the bat you're an intercultural success expert or coach. Now, your photograph, what I would suggest, Carolyn, is using another photograph where you're looking directly at the camera. So just use your phone. Make sure you're looking at the camera. And yeah, because again, LinkedIn has done studies and other folks have done research, and they found that a photograph can play a huge role in getting people to want to connect with you. So when you're looking at someone directly, let's look at my profile here, photograph here. So you can see this is what the gurus have suggested. Your profile, you want to have a neutral background. So if you can take a photograph on your phone, and then you can remove your background, and then you can add a background on Canva. So, my brand colors are black, red, white, and gold. So I have a gold background. But you can see I'm looking directly at the camera. You want to be you want a little headspace above your photograph, and you want your photograph to be 60 to 70% of the circle. You want from the shoulders and up, so not too close a photograph. And you want to be smiling. You want to look approachable, and your eyes, you can turn slightly if you want. Let's go back. Let's see if I can go back to Carolyn Gregory. Okay, so, and let me know in the chat. Yeah. Okay, Carolyn says she's very happy with constructive. Okay, the second thing, Carolyn, is your LinkedIn. See at the top your LinkedIn URL. You don't want these numbers. This is what LinkedIn creates when you first create your profile. What I'll do is I have a video on how you can change this URL. I have a second YouTube channel, my LinkedIn YouTube channel, and I have a video there both for profile photographs and for the URL, how you can create a clean URL so you don't have all these numbers. So I'll share that link in the comments. So after this video is done, go to the comments or in the description. I'll share in one of the two, or both of them maybe, and then you can see how you can change that. It's very simple. Okay, so you have intercultural consultant and coach, community manager at the field, engineer excellent. It says you're United Kingdom. You have 18,744 followers. That's excellent. So what I would say here in your about section, you want to start with a hook. It's not so much about you, but it's about who you're helping, because it's always people will, when they read your profile, it's like, what's in it for me? Why should I connect with Carolyn? Why should I work with her? So you want to say something like, are you, like, whatever problem your target audience. For instance, in my case, I could start with a hook like, are you struggling to build your visibility and personal brand abroad? It could be a question, or I could say, you move abroad and no one knows what your expertise is. And so you kind of make a statement or you ask a question, then you kind of ease into it. And you want to not have a big paragraph. You want to have a lot of white spaces in that. So work on that, and some of the stuff can be in your experience section instead of in your about. Your about section is really the who you help, what problem you solve for them, how you help them, what makes you unique. And you want to have a lot of white space. You don't want big paragraphs because people usually scan profiles. So I would suggest you do that. And yeah, so over here in your experience section, you could include that. And then so then you have your featured sections. That's excellent. I think do you have LinkedIn Premium, Carolyn? Do you have LinkedIn Premium? Let me know in the chat, because I think you do. Okay, so you want to add that link over here, to share what, like, look at my profile. And I keep changing the link. For a while I had the link, join the Expat Women membership. Now I have this link. So how you do it is you click on the pencil, and if you go right to the bottom here, you'll see premium custom button. So add a link that will appear on your profile, and then use a link. So you don't want to just have the link. So you could say, I don't know if you have like a lead magnet or a newsletter, or you can, if you have a workshop coming up, something that, or your website, check out this is only 30 characters, so you can only have 30 characters here. So, but you don't want to just say my website. Like I said, and you can see I couldn't put a space between YouTube channel because it's 31, so I had to put the remove that space. But be creative. But definitely, if you're paying for LinkedIn Premium, you want to have that, because when you have that link, that premium link, you can see this guy Dharmesh Shah, he's got view my newsletter. That link will show up when you post content. I think also when someone comments. Let me see if we can find someone who's left a comment. I don't think that shows up, but I think maybe in the DMs. But It'll, if you have that, it will all, you see this person doesn't have a LinkedIn Premium, so it's not showing up below her name. But this guy Dharmesh has it, so he has view my newsletter here. So then you're like, oh, let me check out this person's newsletter, and then you go to their LinkedIn newsletter, and then you subscribe. So that's, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see. You can see. Can you see what I'm sharing right now? Yeah, check. I think there's only one kind of premium, Carolyn. So yeah, as in terms of how long your about section should be, it should be two. You have up, I think, 2,400 characters, so you can put in as much as you want in your LinkedIn about section, but you just, you don't, you want to make it where, think of, put yourself in your target audience, your clients' foot shoes, and think about what would they want to see. That will be like, yes, I want to hire Carolyn Gregory. I want to work with her. So think about that, and you can also add some fun. And I need to actually clean up my LinkedIn about section too, and it's a constant, it's constant work in progress, because where is my, yeah. So you can see it's ready to stop being invisible and start making bold moves abroad. So you can see I have that question, and then who I help them to my community moving abroad. Then first I start with the question, then I say who I help. Okay, my target audience. It's a chance. So then I share exactly what I mean by bold moves abroad, and who I support building a, So you can see mine is not a very long about section, so it doesn't have to be long, and I don't share like everything that I'm a LinkedIn coach here and all that, and then in my featured section I'm sharing all the key things that I don't even put my posts here anymore, because there's a section here for people to see my post. So I just have the things that I want people to, these are my call to actions: join the Expat Woman membership, sign up for my emails, you know subscribe to my YouTube channel. So these are all funnels, and showcasing my expertise in different ways, because I think I've forgotten how many touch points, and maybe someone in the live stream can tell me. Okay, what you said about the white space in the about section? Sure. So let's go back to my about section. Do you see this? Can you see it, Carolyn? So you can see I don't have a big paragraph. I'm like separating my content with white spaces. So it's very scannable. And also you want to do the same with your LinkedIn posts. Because people's attention spans are so short today, because we're getting bombarded with social media content. Again, this has all been research. This is not my input. This is what people have said, that having these white spaces makes it really easy to scan, because people will only spend so much time in your profile or your content, and so you want to have these white spaces. And you can see here, my call to action is my email address. You can have more than one. So my call to action, sorry. If you're ready to stop blending and start standing out with purpose, let's connect. And then I have my email address. So hopefully that answered your question. Yeah. Yeah. So I know folks have to go. We are close to 10. I am happy to stay on. I know Colette has to leave, but I'm happy to stay on here for a few minutes more. If anyone else wants me to look at their profile, I do provide LinkedIn one-on-one coaching services. So you can send me a DM and I can share that with you. If you want to work with me one-on-one on LinkedIn and get more help with your profile, your content, building your network, etc. Because the LinkedIn profile is the most powerful of all profiles, because it just has so many sections. All right. So if anyone has any more questions, want me to talk about anything else, I'm happy to stay on for a few minutes more on this platform and talk about it. But I just want to while I'm doing that, I want to thank everyone who's joined me live. Or if you are watching the replay, share your questions in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and also subscribe if you haven't. Thanks so much, Carolyn. Thank you for joining me, and I hope I'll see you soon. I also want to let you know we have the Expat Women membership, where I also do live Q&As, but that's on Zoom, so my members can all like join in, and it's just even more interactive. This is more like one way, but I appreciate you being here, and yeah, just reach out to me if you need any more support, and I will share all the links that I just mentioned in the description, so you can check those out. So get going on your profile photograph, your URL, and your about section. Just start with that, and then work your way through the rest. All right, thank you. Bye.